Hi, and welcome to another interactive read aloud. Today's story is called Be Quiet, and this is written by Ryan Higgins. This is a very special book because it's supposed to be a wordless book, and that's actually one of our vocabulary words today, so we're going to discover what wordless means inside of our story today. I want you to notice something that Ryan did in our story. Do you see all of these words here on the front cover? All of these words he actually hand-lettered. That means he didn't use a computer, he didn't print out anything, he actually drew each letter and colored it in with either a marker or a pen. So all of those words that you see, Ryan has actually drawn himself. That's pretty cool. Now we're going to come back to this beginning page because you can see the story actually starts on our front papers. That's not usually the case, so we'll come back to that. I wanted to show you the title of the book because I took the book jacket off of this book, so there's not really a title here. Here's the title, Be Quiet. Now, how do you think Ryan Higgins, our author and our illustrator, wants us to read this title? Well, I see that the title is very large, and it kind of has like a bold print. It's a little dark. I also see that there's an exclamation point behind the last word. So if I were Ryan, I would want my audience to read it like this. Be quiet! Now, let's go back to those front papers and start the story. Finally, there's a little mouse over here, you see him? Finally, I get my very own book to star in. This is going to be great. I'm going to make it a wordless book. They are very artistic. This book will have no words at all, starting now. Now, this little speech bubble over here actually helps us with our vocabulary word of wordless. It says this book will have no words at all. So what do you think wordless means? Well, wordless means without words. The suffix less, L-E-S-S, means without. So I can say without words or wordless. So let's check out this story without any words. Rupert the Mouse presents Be Quiet by Ryan T. Higgins. Okay, starting now. So now we're going to have a word or a book without words. Hi, Rupert. What are... Shh! Be quiet! This book does not have words. Wowee! A wordless book? Can I help? Oops. I'm talking. Eep! I'm talking about talking! Stop! The book already started. You're messing it up. Please let me stay in the book. I promise to be quiet. I'll be extra wordless. Please. I said be quiet. This book is wordless. Now, our friend Ryan, the author and the illustrator, did something different here in this speech bubble. How do you think Ryan wants us to read what Rupert's saying down here? Well, he probably wants us to use our big voice with a lot of emotion behind it because I see capital letters, I see darker words, and I see use of an exclamation point. So when we read this, I'm going to take in consideration the mood of Rupert and how he's feeling. If I were feeling that way, I would probably yell too. Hey guys, what's with all the shouting? Hi Thistle, we're making a wordless book, but I've promised to be quiet, so I can't tell you about it. He's not doing too hot, is he? A wordless book? I love those. They're very artistic. Can I be in it? Now let's stop for a second. We have that word artistic. Artistic, let's think about that. If I had a wordless book, that means a book without any words, then what would I be focusing on? The pictures, right? The art. So if it says they're very artistic, that means that it's full of art. Yes, but we won't tell Rupert since we're not supposed to be talking. I told you to be quiet. You're putting too many words in the book. Rupert's losing it, isn't he? Yay! This book is going to be so fun. Quiet, you! This book will be more than fun. It will be visually stimulating. What does visually stimulating mean? I think it means we're going to poke our readers in the eyeballs with pictures. That's not what it means. It means we need to have strong illustrations. Like this. Harg! Look, we're helping. No, you're not. Be quiet. This book is wordless. Rupert is right, Nibs. What this book needs is some strong but silent types. Strong but silent? I wonder what they're cooking up here in their brains. They've already shown us they can be strong. I wonder what's strong but silent. Let's find out. What about him? He's strong. He's silent. Every book needs a bear in it. I don't know. He looks grumpy. What about something cuter? What about a kitten? Kittens are super cute and friendly. Oh, look at his cute little nose and whiskers. And his beautiful big eyes and shiny teeth. Nibs, I think it's getting a little too friendly. Quick, think of something vegetarian. A cucumber. Well, we'll just draw a smile on it and add some googly eyes. And there, a vegetarian. Nibs, what exactly do you think a vegetarian is? Stop filling my brilliant piece of wordless literature with nonsense. And stop talking! You're not taking this seriously. Is this more serious? What are you supposed to be, a president? No, I'm Vincent Van Mouse. I don't think everyone will get that. Can you try something a little simpler? Now, Ryan does something very special here. He doesn't give any words to how Rupert is feeling. Rupert doesn't say anything here, but we can still see how Rupert is feeling. Do you see this speech bubble here? There are no words in it. It's a wordless speech bubble, but I can see some squiggles there that are very dark, and I can see his face is kind of squished up like when you're mad. So I'm thinking Rupert is frustrated here. He's showing a lot of anger. We're simple. We're potatoes. Stop talking and stop changing the pictures around. I don't even like potatoes. Rupert is right. No more artistic stuff. Wordless books need action. We should have a silent superhero instead. We'll call him Captain Quiet, and he could fight words. Captain Quiet, vocabulary vigilante. And then on his belt it says, shh. Pow, kaboom, blam. No. No superheroes and no onomatopoeia either. Do you know what onomatopoeia is? Onomatopoeia is the imitation of sounds. So if you see on this page, we have these white kind of blotches and they have red letters inside. Those words are your onomatopoeia words. They're sound words. So sounds like pow, kaboom, blam. Those are onomatopoeia words. And Rupert is saying, no onomatopoeia, no superheroes. I think Rupert just said, I'm a gonna pia? What do you think that means? I think that means he should have gone to the bathroom before this book started. Now let's say the actual word. What was it again? Onomatopoeia. a man, a Pia. What about mimes? Mimes are extra quiet. Guess what I'm miming? Let's see. Is it a cheese sandwich that thinks it's a hummingbird with a lettuce sweater? Don't you know what be quiet means? It means don't make a sound. Right. It's like that saying about a tree falling in the woods. How's it go? Nibs, can you help? I'm on it. Ooh, there, our illustrator and our author did it again. Remember on that previous page when Rupert was feeling so frustrated and upset? He didn't have anything in his speech bubble, no words, right? But we could still, the author still showed us how he's feeling through the illustration and through the frustration of the speech bubble. We see it again here. Ryan's done the same thing. We see the face and we see those squiggles in that speech bubble. He's feeling very frustrated. It goes something like, if a tree falls on someone who isn't listening in the woods, no, that's not right. Timber! Ah! Did the tree make a sound? It was hard to tell with all of Rupert shouting. Should we try again? There it is again. Ryan is showing us that he is feeling so mad. Enough! I have had it! All you two do is talk, talk, talk. I can't stand it. Can't you be quiet for just one page? Whew. Rupert is angry. I try to do one thing, make a wordless book, and you two have to go and ruin it. You have filled this book with words. No one is going to want to read a wordless book that is filled with words. Why can't you do a simple thing like not saying anything? Is that hard? I am quiet. I'm not saying anything, but no, you two just keep talking and 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 what? Shh. Be quiet. This book does not have words. The end. Oh my goodness. That was a funny story. And we have a couple of speech bubbles here on our last page. So let's check out what they say. I thought the book turned out okay. I hope we get to do another one soon. Honk! Now, you might recognize this character. This is from Ryan's other books, so if we read another of Ryan Higgins' books, we might see this character again. So let's talk about a couple of things from our story today. How did Ryan choose to tell this story? How did he tell this story with his wordless book? He did this story with something called speech bubbles. So all of his characters, instead of just being laid out and having a narrator read it, or somebody in the story telling us what was happening, the characters were actually involved in the conversation, and they were telling us what they were saying. The speech bubbles directly related to what they were saying. Did you like the way that Ryan wrote this story? I know that I did, because we don't see a lot of books that are written in this way. A lot of our books have something called narration or narrators, and they give you what is happening in the story. It has dialogue, but it also has a lot of other words telling you what's going on. In this story, all we had was dialogue. Dialogue is what people or animals say in stories. So I liked that this was a little bit different than what I normally read. And I think I would like to try writing a story with only speech bubbles, using only dialogue with my characters. That's pretty cool. What do you think about the characters? We had our characters. They were Rupert, Nib, and, what was the other one? Let's go back and look. Rupert, Nib, and Thistle. Yes, Rupert, Nib, and Thistle. What did you think about these guys? Well, Rupert was the one that was writing the story. He wanted to create a wordless story, right? A wordless book. Well, I thought he was the most funny to me because he kept getting so angry that these other two mice were not following his directions. And then at the end of the book, he was the one that actually had the most to say when he went on and on about them talking and talking. That part really made me laugh. The other two characters, I thought they played well off of each other. They kept having conversations and coming up with funny parts to make us laugh in the story. So what did you learn about their personalities? Let's talk about Rupert first, the first guy, the one that was going to make the story. What did you think about his personality? I think that Rupert was very uptight. He wanted everything the way that he wanted it to be, and he didn't want anybody to ruin that. He's a very type A person. Now, the other two, Thistle and Nib, I think they were a little bit more jokey. They liked to have fun with each other. They liked to use their imagination and come up with wild and crazy things. So they were a little more fun-loving. So let's do an extension here. What we're going to do is I need you to grab a couple of pieces of paper. Even if you have index cards or sticky notes, those would be perfect too. We just need small cards. Now on those small cards, I want you to come up with different moods. They could be happy, sad, grumpy, excited, angry. So just write down a whole bunch of different moods, one mood on each of the cards. Then I want you to grab a buddy, and you and your buddy are going to pick a card from the pile. And then you and your buddy are going to talk and have conversation, but you have to be in that mood. So if I pull out the mood of grumpy, then I would have to talk with my partner in a grumpy mood until the timer went off. So then when the teacher or whoever you're playing with, maybe it's mom and dad, when they hit the timer and it beeps, then you would draw a new card, read the mood, and then have a conversation in that mood as well. So it's called mood conversation. I hope you enjoyed our wordless but not so wordless book today. And if you want to check out more of Ryan Higgins' books, you can certainly do that. Thanks for reading Be Quiet with me.